Hello again. Today, welcome to my video blog thing. We're going to make Christmas fruity spicy cupcakes with an allspice, not curry spice, buttercream topping. So here we go. Here are all the ingredients you need. Dark brown sugar, or I use a mix of dark brown sugar and demerara. Self-raising flour, ground allspice, mixed spice. I use this instead of butter. You can buy supermarket's own brand if you like. Brandy soaked mixed fruit, or you can use this mixed fruit where you have to soak it in brandy beforehand. We need 6 eggs. I've got a box there because I'm going to be making 24 cakes. And then afterwards we'll do the icing. Before we start, I'm going to turn the oven on and preheat it to 180 degrees. I've already measured my sugar and butter out. Everything I'm doing today is to make 24 cakes, so if you want the correct recipe, just message me privately. If you don't have golden dark brown sugar or demerara sugar, but you've got light brown sugar, any of the darker type of sugars, it's okay. If you haven't got the dark brown sugars in your cupboard, just use regular granulated sugar. It might have a different colour, but it doesn't matter. I'm using stork because it's lactose free, so if you've got a lactose problem then that's fine, and obviously it's not vegan because I'm using eggs. As I said, I'm making enough mix to do 24 cakes. I don't know if anyone else is the same as me, but I've got a thing about eggs, and I suppose you can call it a little phobia, but it's the eggshell I can't stand, and I've always panic about dropping some in. So I've measured my 6 eggs in here. I'm also not as confident as some of those chefs on the telly that just seem to be able to go smash with an egg and drop it in the mix. So I put them in a bowl jug first, check for eggshells, and the best way to do that before you put it in the mix is just break them up with a fork and stir it into a nice mix. My sugar and butter is nicely creamed, or my sugar and stork I should say, so I'm just going to add all this in together. It's a little bit noisy, so I'm going to turn this off. The stork, the sugar and the eggs are nicely blended into a creamy runny paste, so I'm just going to add the dry ingredients, which is the flour and the ground mixed spice. I think in some places it's called allspice. So I'm just going to, you should really just spoon it in, but I'm going to tip it in, and then I'm just going to use my spatula and blend it in first of all, mix it, stir it in, before I put the whisker back on. Okay, again I have to turn it off because it's quite noisy, so bear with me. There, maybe it's not too noisy. I'm mixing it now with the electric mixer on a very low speed so that it doesn't throw all the flour back up in the air. And as I go along, I like to tidy up, so I'll put things away. That goes there. Dirty bowl in the soapy warm water that I put on earlier, and there, that's making out. Just turn the speed up a little bit more and just leave that running for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay then, the sugar, flour and spice and eggs is all nicely blended, so the final thing is to put the fruit in. I buy bags of brandy soaked mixed fruit, but at the end of the day, if you don't want the brandy fruit, just buy a bag of chopped mixed fruit, or have a look in your cupboard and see if you've got any bags of bits of old dry fruit lying around. Great way to use them all up. For 12 cakes, you need about 190 grams, but as I said, I'm doing twice that amount, 24 cakes, so I'm going to just pop in about 400 grams of dried fruit, just so that everyone gets a nice chunky fruity cake. That's all the fruit popped into the bowl. I'm just going to put the mixer on again. Put it on a low speed, otherwise you might find some of the bits of fruit just flick off out into the room and it's a bit messy. So that's the fruit all chipped in and covered. Just turn the speed up slightly and I'll just let that blend away for 2 or 3 minutes. There we are, all nicely mixed. Lift the paddle or the blade, whatever you want to call it, out of the mix. And there. A nice fruity, coffee coloured mix. Let me just show you. There's the mix, already done. While that was doing, I lined up my trays. Here we are. Got some lovely little Halloween ones. So I've got ready 1 and 2 trays over there. Now, you need 2 dessert spoons, about that sort of size. We're just going to scoop up that much and then drop it into the cases. Pop a generous amount in each one. I can't show you because it means using just one hand to hold the camera, but I'll show you in a minute what it all looks like. There we are. I've only done 4, but just to show you, sort of almost fill the cup cases up. There we are. The cake cases are ready. That's 24. Depending on how much you pop into the cup cases, how much or how little, you might, like me, still have some left. There's probably enough in there to do maybe another 8 cakes. So, I'm just going to go and pop them in the oven. Remember, the oven's going to be hot when you open it, so carefully. In goes 1. And there's the other one. Remember to turn the temperature down to 180. Okay, and we'll leave them in there for about 30 minutes. Well, that's 35 minutes they've had in the oven. The bell has ticked and I've taken them out and I've put the trays on some cooling racks. And there you have 24 lovely golden brown cakes. I managed to make another 10 out of the rest of that mix and they're baking at the moment. And as you can see, they're quite light. Lovely. They smell delicious too. Hello, I've iced the cakes. For my icing mix, I use same for same. So 250 grams of icing sugar plus 250 grams of the wet ingredients. That includes the butter or any food colourings and stuff like that. The cakes have been iced and I hope you like the look of them. Have a happy Halloween.